Hi everyone, Christopher Grimm here. In this video, I'm gonna show you 5 albums I first heard by certain artists. That's right, I'm gonna show you the albums that got me into these artists. Please note, these are not in any particular order. Anyways, on with the countdown. Number 5. Cheap Trick, Standing on the Edge. Now, let me explain. Their greatest hits album is how I was introduced to them, I think in February or March 2005, but this is the first studio album by them I heard, sometime in 2005 or 2006. This album is awesome, featuring 10 awesome songs. This album only features one single, which would be the song Tonight It's You, which I love that song, and is my favorite song by them. Anyways, my final rating for this album is a 5 out of 5. Now, on to number 4. Number 4. Soundgarden, Super Unknown. It was sometime in 2006 when I first heard this album. This was the first Soundgarden album I ever heard, and boy, I absolutely loved it, still love it to this day. There are so many highlights on this album, some of them being, My Wave, Spoonman, the title track Super Unknown, Fell on Black Days, and so many others. This is still my favorite Soundgarden album to this day. Their best lyrics are on this album in my opinion. Before I give my final rating on this album, I have to say rest in peace Chris Cornell, you had an absolutely amazing voice, can't believe it's already been 5 years, you are irreplaceable. Anyways, I'm sure you all can guess my final rating for this album, but I'll tell you anyway, it's a 5 out of 5. Now on to number 3. Number 3. Eve 6, Horoscope. It was sometime in February or March 2005 when I first heard this album. I loved it the first time I heard it and still love it to this day. The lyrics on this album are brilliant. Lead singer Max Collins is an absolutely amazing songwriter. All 12 songs on this album are awesome. Some of the songs from this album I like are Promise, On the Roof Again, Nightmare, Rescue, Enemy, and the hit song Here's to the Night, which was used at high school graduations and senior proms. My final rating for this album is a 5 out of 5. Now on to number 2. Number 2. REM, Document. It was sometime in 2006 when I first heard this album, so I would have been in my second semester of kindergarten, or my first semester of first grade when I first heard this album. Still my favorite REM album to this date. This album has so many awesome songs, some of them being, The One I Love, Disturbance at the Heron House, It's the End of the World as We Know It, Finest Work Song, and Exhuming McCarthy. You know what? All 11 songs on this album are awesome. My final rating for this album is a 5 out of 5. Now on to number 1. Number 1. Yep, number 1 is Green Day, American Idiot, my all-time favorite album. It was I think in February 2005 when I first heard this album. This album is the first ever rock album I heard in my life. This album is the reason why I love rock music. I could go on and on about how much I love this album. My favorite Green Day song, which is my favorite song in the whole world, is on this album. I already told you it in my ranking Green Day albums video, but I'll tell you all it again. It's Jesus of Suburbia. I also already told you in that video what my final rating for this album is, but I'll tell you all that again too. It's a 5 out of 5. Well, that's the end of this video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, share this video, and click that bell so you never miss an upload of mine. Goodbye.